What if everything you've lived so far, every choice, every passion, every failure, had already been written long before you were born? Carl Jung believed that nothing in your life is random. The month you came into this world wasn't just a date on the calendar. It was the exact moment when an ancient archetype imprinted a hidden code within you. This code not only explains why you keep attracting the same types of people and situations, but also reveals the true purpose of your existence. Jung discovered that each month is tied to an invisible force, a primordial archetype silently shaping your desires, your fears, and even the trials destiny places in your path. This is not astrology. This is not cheap superstition. This is the science of the soul. Jung devoted his life to uncovering the deepest mysteries of the unconscious and found the key that few dare to touch. The moment of your birth activated a cosmic program inside you that defines who you are and who you are meant to become. Millions of people live trapped in patterns they don't understand, repeating the same mistakes, unaware of this hidden power. But you are about to uncover the truth. Get ready. The archetype of your birth month may forever change the way you see your life, and destiny itself will never be the same after this. January, the guardian of portals. If you were born in January, Carl Jung discovered something extraordinary about your soul's purpose. You came into this world as a guardian of portals, a being capable of opening doorways between different realms of existence. This isn't just symbolic language. Jung found that people born in this month carry within them an ancient power to bridge worlds that others cannot see. Your entire life has been shaped by this invisible gift. Think about the moments when you felt like you were standing at a crossroads, sensing possibilities that others missed completely. That wasn't coincidence. That was your archetypal nature awakening. You have the ability to see beyond the surface of reality, to perceive the hidden connections that link all things together. Jung understood that January births occur during the deepest winter, when the veil between worlds is thinnest. This cosmic timing infused your spirit with qualities that make you naturally intuitive about timing, transitions, and transformations. You instinctively know when something is ending and when something new is beginning, even before the signs become obvious to others. The guardian archetype means you're here to help others navigate life's most crucial passages. Without even realizing it, you've probably found yourself in situations where people turn to you during their darkest hours or biggest decisions. This happens because your energy naturally creates safe spaces for deep change to occur. But here's what most January-born people never understand. Your greatest power lies in your ability to hold space for the unknown. While others fear uncertainty, you thrive in it. You can remain calm and centered when everything around you is shifting and changing. This makes you an anchor for others during storms. Your shadow side emerges when you become too attached to being the wise guide. Sometimes you hold on to situations or relationships longer than necessary because you feel responsible for everyone's journey. Jung would say this happens when you forget that being a guardian doesn't mean controlling the portal. It means trusting the process of transformation itself. The universe positioned you to be born in January because it knew the world would need people who could navigate between the old and the new, the visible and the invisible, the conscious and the unconscious. Your very existence serves as a bridge for human consciousness to evolve. This archetypal pattern explains why you've always felt different, why you seem to understand things that others struggle with, and why people are drawn to your presence during times of change. You're not just living a random life. You're fulfilling an ancient cosmic role that was written into your soul before you were even born. February, the visionary of the depths. February children carry one of the most mysterious and powerful archetypes in Jung's system. You are a visionary of the depths, someone born with the extraordinary ability to see into the hidden layers of reality that most people never access. Your birth timing, during the coldest and most introspective period of the year, created a unique psychological structure that allows you to dive deep into the unconscious realms. Jung discovered that February births occur when nature is in its most contemplative state, and this cosmic energy becomes permanently embedded in your psyche. You didn't just inherit this gift, you chose it before incarnating. Your soul specifically selected this month because it knew you had important work to do in the invisible realms of human consciousness. Throughout your life, you've probably experienced moments of knowing things you shouldn't know, feeling things that others can't feel, or having dreams and visions that later come true. This isn't supernatural. It's your archetypal nature expressing itself. You have direct access to what Jung called the collective unconscious, the shared pool of human experience and wisdom. Your visionary abilities manifest in different ways. Some February-born people become natural healers, able to see the emotional and spiritual wounds that others carry. Others become innovators and inventors, receiving downloads of information from beyond the ordinary mind. Still others become artists, channeling profound truths through creative expression that touches souls in ways they can't explain. But your greatest gift is your ability to transform pain into wisdom. The depths you're able to reach aren't just about accessing hidden knowledge. They're about diving into the darkest corners of human experience and emerging with light. You can go into places of suffering, both your own and others, and find the seeds of healing and growth that are buried there. The challenge for February visionaries is learning to trust your inner knowing even when the outer world doesn't validate it. You often receive information through feelings, intuitions, and dreams rather than logical reasoning. Society teaches us to dismiss these subtle forms of knowing, but for you, they're your greatest source of truth and guidance. Your shadow emerges when you become overwhelmed by the intensity of what you can see and feel. Sometimes the depths become too much to bear, and you might withdraw from the world or become lost in your own inner landscape. Jung understood this struggle. The deeper you can go, the harder it becomes to stay connected to ordinary reality. The universe chose February for your birth because it knew humanity would need people who could navigate the depths of consciousness and bring back treasures of insight and healing. You're not here to live a surface-level existence. You're here to explore the mysteries of being human and help others understand their own hidden depths. March, the warrior of rebirth. March births carry the explosive energy of spring's first breakthrough, and Jung recognized this as one of the most dynamic archetypes in his system. You are a warrior of rebirth, born with an unstoppable force for transformation and renewal that can change not just your own life, but the lives of everyone around you. Your arrival into this world coincided with nature's most dramatic awakening, and this primal energy became permanently woven into your soul. Jung understood that March represents the moment when winter's grip finally breaks and life forces its way back into existence. This cosmic timing didn't happen by accident. Your spirit chose this month because you came here to break through barriers, shatter limitations, and create new realities where others see only obstacles. You carry within you the same unstoppable force that pushes flowers through concrete and melts the hardest ice. Your entire life has been a series of rebirths. Every time you've faced what seemed like an impossible situation, something inside you refused to give up. This isn't just determination, it's your archetypal nature expressing its deepest purpose. You're designed to take whatever life throws at you and transform it into fuel for your next level of growth and evolution. The warrior aspect of your nature isn't about fighting others. It's about fighting for possibility itself. You instinctively know that every ending contains a new beginning, and you have the courage to let things die so that something greater can be born. This makes you a natural catalyst for change, someone who shows up in people's lives exactly when they need to break free from what's holding them back. Your gift is your ability to see potential where others see problems. When everyone else is focused on what's wrong or what's impossible, you're already envisioning the breakthrough that's coming. This visionary quality combined with your warrior energy makes you incredibly powerful at manifesting new realities that seemed impossible just moments before. Jung would say that your shadow side emerges when your warrior energy becomes destructive rather than creative. Sometimes you become so focused on breaking through that you forget to consider what you're breaking. You might push too hard, move too fast, or leave destruction in your wake without realizing the impact of your intense energy. But your true power lies in understanding that rebirth isn't a one-time event. It's an ongoing process. You're here to show others that no matter how stuck or hopeless things might seem, there's always a way to break through into something new and beautiful. Your very existence proves that transformation is always possible. April, the creator of new worlds. April children embody one of the most creative and generative forces in Jung's archetypal system. You are a creator of new worlds, born with an innate ability to bring something entirely fresh and original into existence. Your birth, during the height of spring's creative explosion, infused your being with the same life force that turns barren fields into gardens of endless possibility. Jung recognized that April births occur when the earth is in its most fertile and creative state. Every seed planted during this time carries maximum potential for growth and manifestation. Your soul specifically chose this timing because you came here to plant seeds of possibility that will grow into realities the world has never seen before. You're not here to copy what already exists. You're here to create what doesn't exist yet. Throughout your life, you've probably found yourself naturally drawn to starting new projects, exploring uncharted territories, and bringing fresh perspectives to old problems. This isn't restlessness. It's your archetypal purpose expressing itself. You carry within you the blueprint for innovation, the template for turning imagination into reality, and the courage to bring your visions into the physical world. Your creative power goes far beyond artistic expression, though many April-born people do find themselves drawn to the arts. You create new ways of thinking, new solutions to complex problems, new approaches to relationships, and new possibilities for human experience. You see opportunities where others see obstacles, and you have the magical ability to turn your dreams into tangible results. The creator archetype means you're constantly receiving downloads of inspiration from higher dimensions of consciousness. Your mind naturally operates as a channel for new ideas, fresh insights, and innovative solutions. You don't just think outside the box, you create entirely new boxes that didn't exist before you imagined them. Jung understood that creators face unique challenges. Your gift for seeing new possibilities can make it difficult to stick with one thing long enough to see it through to completion. You might find yourself starting many projects but struggling to finish them, always drawn to the next exciting possibility on the horizon. This happens because your nature is designed for initiation and innovation, not necessarily for maintenance and completion. Your shadow emerges when you become attached to being seen as original or special. Sometimes you might reject good ideas simply because they're not your own, or you might become frustrated when others don't immediately understand or appreciate your creative visions. Jung would remind you that true creation serves something greater than personal recognition. The universe timed your birth for April because it knew the world would need people who could envision and create new realities. You're here to expand the boundaries of what's possible, to show humanity new ways of being and doing, and to leave the world more beautiful and innovative than you found it. May, the builder of empires. May births carry the steady, unstoppable force of empire building, and Jung identified this as one of the most powerful archetypes for manifesting lasting success and abundance. You are a builder of empires, born with an extraordinary ability to take raw materials, whether they're ideas, resources, or opportunities, and construct something magnificent and enduring that stands the test of time. Your birth timing during late spring, when nature has moved from the explosive creativity of early growth into the steady, determined building phase, embedded this same energy into your core being. Jung understood that May represents the moment when initial inspiration transforms into concrete reality through persistent, focused effort. Your soul chose this month because you came here to demonstrate the power of sustained commitment and strategic thinking. Throughout your life, you've probably noticed that while others get excited about quick wins and instant gratification, you're naturally drawn to projects and goals that require long-term vision and consistent effort. This isn't because you lack imagination or spontaneity. It's because your archetypal nature is designed to create things that last. You instinctively understand that anything worth building takes time, patience, and unwavering dedication. Your empire-building abilities extend far beyond business or material success, though many May-born people do excel in these areas. You build empires of knowledge, empires of relationships, empires of influence, and empires of positive impact. Whatever domain captures your attention, you approach it with the same methodical, strategic mindset that ancient rulers used to build civilizations that lasted for centuries. The builder archetype means you have an exceptional ability to see the big picture while simultaneously managing all the small details that make success possible. You can envision the completed castle while laying each individual stone with precision and care. This combination of visionary thinking and practical execution makes you incredibly effective at turning dreams into reality. Jung recognized that builders often face the challenge of being misunderstood by those who operate on shorter timelines. Your colleagues and friends might wonder why you're not celebrating small victories or why you seem so focused on long-term outcomes. They don't realize that your satisfaction comes not from quick achievements, but from the deep fulfillment of creating something truly substantial and meaningful. Your shadow side emerges when empire building becomes more important than the people and relationships that make success meaningful. Sometimes you might become so focused on construction and achievement that you forget to enjoy the process or appreciate the journey. Jung would remind you that the greatest empires are built not just with stone and steel, but with love and human connection. The universe positioned your birth in May because it knew the world would need people who could create lasting value, build sustainable systems, and demonstrate that true success comes from patience, persistence, and strategic thinking. You're here to show others that dreams without execution remain fantasies, but dreams coupled with consistent action become the foundations of legendary achievements. By the way, if you're curious to go even deeper and integrate your shadows and light, check out the Sim Method ebook. It's a concise guide that can help you unlock your inner power in just 5 minutes a day. The link is in the first pinned comment below. June, the master of communication. June children embody the archetypal energy of the master of communication, blessed with an extraordinary ability to connect, translate, and bridge different worlds through the power of language, understanding, and genuine human connection. Jung discovered that births during this month occur when the sun reaches its peak power, illuminating everything with crystal clarity, and this cosmic timing creates individuals who can bring light to any situation through their gift for communication. Your arrival coincided with the summer solstice approach, when day and night exist in perfect balance before light reaches its maximum expression. This timing infused your being with the ability to see all sides of any situation and communicate with people from vastly different backgrounds, beliefs, and experiences. You didn't just inherit this gift. Your soul specifically chose June because you knew the world would need translators, bridges, and connectors. Throughout your life, you've probably found yourself naturally drawn to situations where people need help understanding each other. Whether in personal relationships, professional settings, or community situations, you instinctively step into the role of facilitator, mediator, and translator. This happens because your archetypal nature is designed to help human consciousness expand through better communication and deeper connection. Your mastery goes far beyond just being good with words, though many June-born people do excel in writing, speaking, and teaching. You communicate through presence, through energy, and through your ability to make others feel truly heard and understood. When people interact with you, they often walk away feeling clearer about their own thoughts and feelings because your energy helps them organize and express what was previously jumbled inside them. The communication master archetype means you're naturally attuned to the subtle frequencies of human interaction. You can sense what people really mean beneath their words, pick up on unspoken emotions, and understand the deeper currents running through any conversation. This makes you incredibly effective at resolving conflicts, facilitating breakthroughs, and helping groups find common ground. Jung understood that masters of communication face unique challenges in a world that often prioritizes speaking over listening. You might find yourself exhausted by constant requests to help others sort through their problems, or frustrated when people don't appreciate the depth of understanding you bring to every interaction. Sometimes you give so much of your energy to facilitating communication for others that you forget to honor your own need to be heard and understood. Your shadow emerges when your gift for seeing all sides of a situation prevents you from taking a clear stand on important issues. Sometimes you might become so focused on maintaining harmony and understanding that you avoid necessary confrontations or fail to speak your own truth when it might cause discomfort for others. The universe timed your birth for June because it knew humanity needed people who could heal the divisions that separate us and help us remember our fundamental interconnectedness. You're here to demonstrate that true communication isn't about winning arguments or proving points. It's about creating bridges of understanding that allow love and wisdom to flow freely between all beings. July, the protector of the sacred. July births carry one of the most nurturing and protective archetypes in Jung's system, embodying the role of the protector of the sacred. Your arrival during the height of summer, when the Earth's creative forces reach their fullest expression and the natural world pulses with abundance and life, embedded within you an unshakable commitment to safeguarding what is most precious and meaningful in existence. Jung understood that July represents the moment when nature's protective instincts are at their strongest. Mother birds defend their nests most fiercely, plants have grown strong enough to nurture their fruit, and the earth itself radiates the confident energy of one who has something valuable to protect. Your soul chose this timing because you came here to serve as a guardian of sacred spaces, sacred relationships, and sacred truths. Your protective nature extends far beyond physical safety, though you do have strong instincts to shield others from harm. You protect people's dreams when the world tells them to be realistic. You protect ancient wisdom when society pushes for shallow modernization. You protect genuine connections when superficiality threatens to take over. You protect spaces where healing, growth, and authentic transformation can occur. Throughout your life, you've probably found yourself naturally drawn to create environments where others feel safe to be vulnerable, to grow, and to express their deepest truths. This might manifest as being the friend everyone turns to during crisis, the family member who holds everyone together during difficult times, or the colleague who ensures that workplace relationships remain human and caring despite external pressures. The sacred protector archetype means you have an intuitive understanding of what needs to be preserved and what needs to be transformed. You're not interested in protecting things simply because they're old or traditional. You protect what serves life, love, and the evolution of human consciousness. This makes you a wise guardian who knows the difference between healthy tradition and limiting dogma. Jung recognized that protectors often carry heavy burdens because they feel responsible for safeguarding things that others might take for granted or even actively threaten. You might find yourself standing alone against forces that seem much larger and more powerful than you are, holding space for values and principles that seem to be disappearing from the world. Your shadow side emerges when protection becomes control, or when your desire to keep things safe prevents necessary growth and change. Sometimes you might become overprotective of people who need to learn their own lessons, or resistant to changes that would actually serve the greater good. Jung would remind you that true protection sometimes means allowing natural consequences to occur. Your greatest gift is your ability to create sanctuary, spaces where the sacred can flourish and where people can remember who they truly are beneath all the roles and masks they wear in the outer world. You're here to remind humanity that some things are too precious to compromise away, too valuable to sell for temporary gain, and too sacred to treat carelessly. August, the king of manifestation. August children embody the magnificent archetype of the king of manifestation, born with an innate ability to turn vision into reality through the sheer force of focused will and natural leadership. Your birth during summer's peak power, when the sun reaches its most commanding presence and nature displays its full creative majesty, infused your being with the same royal energy that governs all successful manifestation in the physical realm. Jung discovered that August births occur when the cosmic forces of creation reach their maximum expression. The seeds planted in spring have grown into full harvest, and the earth demonstrates complete mastery over the manifestation process. Your soul specifically chose this timing because you came here to demonstrate how consciousness can direct energy to create desired outcomes in the material world. Your relationship with manifestation is fundamentally different from others because you understand it's not about wishful thinking or positive affirmations. It's about becoming the energy of what you want to create. You naturally align your thoughts, emotions, actions, and energy in service of your vision, and this unified focus gives you incredible power to bring things into existence that others can only dream about. Throughout your life, you've probably noticed that when you make a real decision about something, circumstances mysteriously begin to align in your favor. People show up, opportunities present themselves, resources become available, and obstacles dissolve. This isn't luck or coincidence. It's your archetypal nature expressing its deepest purpose. You're designed to be a conduit for universal creative force. The king archetype doesn't mean you need to dominate others or demand recognition. True kingship is about taking responsibility for the realm you influence and ensuring that your power serves something greater than personal gain. You manifest not just for yourself, but for the benefit of your community, your loved ones, and the causes you believe in. Your natural leadership abilities stem from your capacity to hold a vision steady, even when external circumstances seem chaotic or uncertain. Others are drawn to your energy because you radiate the confidence that comes from knowing you can create whatever is needed. You don't just hope things will work out, you make them work out through conscious application of your will. Jung understood that kings face the constant temptation to abuse their power or become attached to their ability to control outcomes. Your shadow emerges when manifestation becomes about feeding your ego rather than serving life, or when you become impatient with people who don't share your natural confidence and clarity. The challenge for August manifestors is learning to balance your ability to create with respect for divine timing and natural flow. Sometimes your desire to make things happen immediately conflicts with the universe's perfect timing for optimal outcomes. True mastery comes from knowing when to push forward with determination and when to allow space for organic unfolding. The universe positioned your birth in August because it knew the world would need people who could demonstrate the unlimited creative potential that lies dormant within human consciousness. You're here to show others that we're not victims of circumstance. We're powerful creators, capable of shaping reality according to our highest vision. September, the Perfectionist Divine. September births carry the sophisticated archetype of the Perfectionist Divine, blessed with an extraordinary ability to see the highest potential in everything and everyone, combined with the practical skills necessary to help that potential manifest in reality. Your arrival during early autumn, when nature begins the process of refining and perfecting the year's growth, embedded within you the same discerning wisdom that transforms raw potential into polished excellence. Jung understood that September represents the moment when nature shifts from pure creation mode into refinement and optimization mode. The wild abundance of summer gives way to careful selection, and only the strongest and most valuable elements survive the transition into the harvest season. Your soul chose this timing because you came here to serve as an agent of refinement, helping to elevate human consciousness and experience to their highest possible expression. Your perfectionist nature isn't about being critical or impossible to please. It's about having a clear vision of what's possible when things operate at their optimal level. You can see the gap between how things are and how they could be, and you have both the skills and the motivation to help close that gap. This makes you incredibly valuable in any situation that requires improvement, optimization, or healing. Throughout your life, you've probably found yourself naturally drawn to systems, processes, and situations that aren't working as well as they could. While others might accept mediocrity or inefficiency as just the way things are, you see these as opportunities for meaningful improvement. Your gift isn't just in identifying what's wrong, it's in knowing exactly what steps need to be taken to make things right. The divine aspect of your archetype means you approach perfection not as an impossible standard, but as a sacred calling. You understand that the drive toward excellence serves something greater than personal satisfaction. It serves the evolution of consciousness itself. Every time you help something become more than it was, you contribute to the overall elevation of life on Earth. Your analytical abilities are legendary, but they're powered by something deeper than mere intellectual capacity. You have an intuitive understanding of how all the pieces of any system fit together, and you can quickly identify which elements are supporting the whole and which ones are creating dysfunction or limitation. Jung recognized that divine perfectionists often struggle with impatience, both with themselves and with others who don't share their high standards or clear vision. Your shadow emerges when your desire for improvement becomes harsh criticism, or when your ability to see what's wrong overshadows your appreciation for what's already good and beautiful. The challenge for September perfectors is learning to balance your drive for excellence with acceptance of the natural imperfection that characterizes all growth processes. Sometimes things need to be messy and imperfect for a while before they can reach their highest expression. True divine perfectionism includes perfect timing and perfect patience. Your greatest gift is your ability to help others see their own highest potential and provide practical guidance for reaching it. You're here to demonstrate that perfection isn't about being flawless. It's about becoming the fullest, most authentic expression of what's possible within any given form or situation. October, the Equilibrator Universal. October, children embody the elegant archetype of the equilibrator universal, born with an extraordinary gift for creating balance, harmony, and justice in whatever situation they encounter. Your birth during autumn's peak, when day and night achieve perfect equilibrium and nature demonstrates the art of graceful transition, infused your being with the same cosmic wisdom that maintains harmony throughout the universe. Jung discovered that October births occur during one of the most psychologically significant times of the year, the moment when opposing forces reach perfect balance before the great shift toward winter begins. This timing embedded within you an innate understanding of how to work with polarities, contradictions, and conflicts in ways that create synthesis rather than division. Your entire life has been shaped by your natural ability to see multiple perspectives simultaneously and find the thread of truth that connects them all. Where others see irreconcilable differences, you see opportunities for creative integration. Where others see conflict, you see the possibility for a higher level of understanding that honors all parties while serving the greatest good. The equilibrator archetype doesn't mean you're passive or wishy-washy about important issues. Instead, you have the rare ability to take strong stands while remaining open to new information and to fight for justice while maintaining compassion for all involved. You understand that true balance isn't about compromise. It's about finding solutions that elevate everyone to a higher level of possibility. Throughout your life, you've probably found yourself naturally drawn to situations where your balancing skills are most needed. Whether in personal relationships, professional environments, or community settings, you instinctively step into roles that require mediation, facilitation, and the creation of fair outcomes. This happens because your archetypal purpose is to help human consciousness evolve beyond the limitations of either-or thinking. Your gift for creating harmony extends far beyond conflict resolution. You bring balance to any environment simply by being present. People feel more centered when they're around you. Situations feel more manageable, and even physical spaces seem more peaceful and organized. You radiate the energy of cosmic equilibrium, and this has a profound effect on everything in your field of influence. Jung understood that universal equilibrators face unique challenges because they often find themselves caught between competing forces that each demand total loyalty. You might feel pulled in multiple directions, trying to honor different perspectives while maintaining your own integrity. Sometimes you might sacrifice your own needs in the service of creating balance for others. Your shadow emerges when your desire for harmony prevents necessary confrontation, or when you become so focused on maintaining balance that you lose sight of your own truth and preferences. Sometimes situations require temporary imbalance in order to reach a higher level of equilibrium, and your challenge is learning to trust the natural rhythms of growth and change. The universe timed your birth for October because it knew humanity would need people who could demonstrate that conflict doesn't have to lead to destruction, that differences don't have to create division, and that apparent opposites can actually be complementary forces working together toward a common goal. November, the transformer of shadows. November births carry one of the most mysterious and powerful archetypes in Jung's entire system, the transformer of shadows. Your arrival during late autumn, when nature strips away all superficial appearances and reveals the deep structural truths that lie beneath surface reality, embedded within you an extraordinary ability to work with the hidden, rejected, and unconscious aspects of human experience. Jung understood that November represents the time when the veil between worlds grows thin and the deepest truths about existence become accessible to those with the courage to look. Your soul specifically chose this timing because you came here to serve as a guide through the underworld of human consciousness, helping others face and integrate the parts of themselves they've been afraid to acknowledge. Your relationship with shadow material, The rejected, repressed, and undeveloped aspects of personality is fundamentally different from others because you don't fear darkness. Instead, you understand that shadow contains tremendous power and potential that can only be accessed by those brave enough to enter the depths and transform what they find there. This makes you a natural healer, therapist, researcher, and guide for others navigating their own dark nights of the soul. Throughout your life, you've probably found yourself naturally drawn to situations that others find too intense, too complicated, or too emotionally challenging. Whether you're helping friends through breakups, supporting family members through addiction, or working professionally in fields that deal with crisis and trauma, you seem to thrive in environments where transformation is most needed and most possible. The transformer archetype means you have an intuitive understanding of how to work with energy that's been blocked, twisted, or corrupted by past experiences. You can see the original beauty and power that lies buried beneath layers of hurt, fear, and dysfunction, and you have the patience and skill necessary to help that original essence emerge again in its purified form. Your ability to transform shadows isn't limited to working with other people. You've probably noticed that you go through periodic cycles of deep inner work, where you confront and integrate aspects of yourself that you previously couldn't face. These aren't random episodes of depression or confusion. They're sacred initiations that deepen your capacity to serve as a guide for others walking similar paths. Jung recognized that shadow transformers often feel isolated because their work requires them to spend time in psychological territories that most people avoid. You might sometimes feel like you're carrying burdens that others can't understand, or that your natural intensity makes it difficult to maintain light, casual relationships. Your shadow emerges when you become addicted to intensity, or when you unconsciously create drama in order to have something to transform. Sometimes you might resist allowing things to be simple and peaceful, or you might project your own need for transformation onto others who aren't ready or willing to do deep inner work. The universe positioned your birth in November because it knew the world would need people who could demonstrate that our greatest gifts often lie hidden in our deepest wounds. That transformation is always possible no matter how dark things seem, and that the courage to face our shadows is what ultimately sets us free. December, the Sage of Cycles. December children embody the profound archetype of the Sage of Cycles, blessed with an extraordinary understanding of the rhythms, patterns, and deeper meanings that govern all existence. Your birth during the approach to winter solstice, when the year reaches its completion and prepares for renewal, infused your being with the same cosmic wisdom that orchestrates the eternal dance between endings and beginnings. Jung discovered that December births occur at the most spiritually significant time of the year, when the outer world grows quiet and contemplative, creating optimal conditions for accessing deep wisdom and understanding. Your soul chose this timing because you came here to serve as a keeper of ancient knowledge and a guide who helps others understand the greater patterns that give meaning to their individual experiences. Your entire life has been shaped by your natural ability to see the big picture, not just in terms of immediate circumstances, but in terms of the vast cycles that govern human development, spiritual evolution, and cosmic unfoldment. Where others see random events or meaningless suffering, you see the perfect intelligence that weaves all experiences into a greater tapestry of growth and learning. The sage archetype means you have access to wisdom that transcends ordinary knowledge. You don't just think about life. You understand it at a level that allows you to offer guidance and perspective that consistently proves valuable over time. People are drawn to you when they need to make sense of their experiences or when they're ready to see their challenges from a higher vantage point. Throughout your life, you've probably found yourself naturally drawn to studies and practices that explore the deeper meanings of existence. Whether through formal education, spiritual traditions, philosophical inquiry, or direct mystical experience, you seem to instinctively know that surface-level understanding isn't enough. You're here to penetrate to the core of things and understand how they really work. Your gift for recognizing cycles allows you to navigate life with unusual grace and timing. You understand that everything has its season, times for planting and times for harvesting, times for action and times for rest, times for holding on and times for letting go. This wisdom helps you make decisions that align with natural rhythms rather than fighting against them. Jung understood that sages often feel the burden of seeing things that others aren't ready to understand. You might sometimes feel frustrated when people ask for your wisdom, but then resist actually applying it, or when society seems determined to repeat patterns that you can clearly see will lead to unnecessary suffering. Your shadow emerges when wisdom becomes a barrier to direct experience, or when you become so focused on understanding patterns that you lose connection with the immediate moment. Sometimes your ability to see the bigger picture can make you seem detached or overly philosophical, when others need emotional presence and practical support. The universe timed your birth for December because it knew humanity would need people who could hold the long view, who could remember the deeper purposes behind temporary difficulties, and who could help others trust in the intelligence that guides all growth and transformation. You're here to remind us that every ending is also a beginning, and that wisdom comes from learning to dance gracefully with the eternal cycles of existence. Now you know the truth that Carl Jung discovered, and that can change everything in your life. You are not a cosmic accident wandering aimlessly through the world. You are a living archetype, an incarnated ancestral force, a divine code that came to Earth at a specific moment to fulfill a sacred mission that only you can accomplish. All these years, you have been living only a fraction of your true power, because no one ever told you who you really are. But now that you know your archetype, one question remains. Will you continue living as if you were an ordinary person, or will you embrace the magnitude of what you came here to do? The universe is waiting for your answer, and every day you postpone this decision is one less day to fulfill the extraordinary destiny that was written in the stars at the exact moment of your birth. Your true life begins now.